I can imagine how you feel right now in this very moment where the highlight of your career is getting into some guy's Camry with a bunch of GoPros. And I mean,
I checked you out first, don't worry.
I would hope you, I should hope you would. You know, I'm sure this is not as exciting as Live PD, but you know, Hey, welcome into Carpooling with Ben, folks. You know, we're in the crux of winter, even though we haven't really had that cold snap of weather, which might be to the benefit of today's guest and all of her colleagues as they get ready for the Super Plunge 2020. Corporal Tammy David of the East Providence Police Department.
Nice to meet you.
Ma'am, Corporal, thank you for joining me in the car. I made the horrible mistake, ladies and gentlemen, of texting and saying officer. Inspector Soroka immediately said, what are you doing? She is going to give you all sorts of grief. So I don't want that. So Corporal, thank you for joining me in the car here. And we're excited because you've done this before. It's for Rhode Island Special Olympics. It's the Super Plunge. It's not just going in one time.
No.
It's 25.
It's 25. We'll be doing, well, it's
Or
usually 24, but last year we did an extra one for an officer who passed away. This year, it looks like I'm going to be doing the unified plunge for Riverside Middle. He just picked me up at the school. Our kids are going to be doing the unified plunge, and the high school, East Providence High School, so I'll do that one, and then we'll start our 24 right after that. That
is incredible. Every hour on the hour, throughout the night. It really is a challenge and a test of the will and everything, because cold water is one thing when it's daylight. When it's dark outside,
it's awful.
That's a whole different ballgame.
I don't even go in the water in the summer. My husband will say, you don't even go in the summer, it's cold. I'm like, yeah, but this is like, we're doing this for others.
But yes, and when you do it for the others and you do it for like the students, the athletes from Rhode Island Special Olympics, it's something totally incredible. Their energy is just absolutely electric.
Through the roof.
So we'll talk about them in just a second. Let's talk about the actual event. When is it taking place this year? It's in March.
It's in March. The 21st is the Saturday. It starts off the unified plunge.
Okay.
And that's going to be at Roger Wheeler Beach.
Yep.
This is the first time that they're having that there. It's not usually there.
Okay.
This is a new start. It's going to be over there. I think the unified plunge is expanding.
Okay.
Which is great. I mean, that's like all our kids are learning that at that age. And then our super plunge will start back over at Salty Brine Beach at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And we'll go every hour on the hour on the 20 into the 22nd.
Into the Sunday.
Yep. And then at noon will be the Torch Run plunge, which is police, fire, corrections, first responders. Everybody will go in at noon, and that'll be the final plunge.
Last year we had Chief Elwood Johnson in the car, and he was telling me that one of the motivating factors through the overnight is you watch Jaws. I don't know what that does for the psyche, but whatever, it's far be it from me to argue with the chief or a corporal on that. But the team that is doing this over the 24-hour period, how many are on the team so far this year?
We have 17 this year on the team. It consists of 9 law enforcement.
Okay.
And then we have a retired firefighter, 5 civilians. I think one of the civilians is also a firefighter.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't really know him that well yet.
Okay.
And then 2 athletes. We have Michael Bullock, who is an East Providence Special Olympic athlete. He is the captain of our Super Plunge team.
Fantastic.
He takes every single plunge. Michael Walters is the honorary Super Plunger. And I can't tell you, every year I've done the plunge itself, he's been there. So I think he's done every single one.
Wow.
He does a majority of the plunges with us.
Yeah.
So
how many years is it for you doing this?
I think it's the 13th plunge.
Okay.
I've done every plunge every year. This is my 3rd year as a super plunger.
Okay.
And I said I would never do it. And then I was like, if I'm asking other people to come out of their comfort zone to step up, whether it's an athlete or someone else, I got to do it. And my comfort zone is you run in and run out. I did it once,
Sure.
and I help raise funds and awareness for Special Olympics, but you really step it up by helping raise funds, and you get people's attention when you're doing crazy things like all through the night. We don't know what the temperature is going to be.
Sure.
Could be like today, which would be great. I'd like 60 maybe, but it could be the one year I didn't do it yet, the super plunge, but I did plunge. It was like minus degrees. I mean, freezing.
Yeah.
Well, when the water feels good, that it's super cold outside.
Yeah. So, well, we'll be hoping for the best possible conditions for you. And people can help by going online and contributing to the teams.
Yep.
If they want to make an individual donation, if they want to make a corporate donation, then go right on. We'll have the links in the show notes for this. You've been on the East Providence Police Department for a little over 20 years?
This is my 23rd year.
23rd year. Yep. You started when you were 15 years old, which was so impressive. What got you into policing?
Well, I didn't start at 15 years old. I was actually a late starter. I started at 29 years old. So this is from, going in the cold water.
Sure,
it rejuvenates you.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. This is like, you could sell that as a serum, I'm sure.
It's got to do something. So I got started. It's kind of a funny story. I joined the military right out of high school.
Okay.
Was in the National Guards. Kind of followed what my career said I should do, and that was more of electronics technician is what I did in the military.
Oh, wow.
Crypto tech. And then one of the guys when I was in the National Guard unit said, I'm going out for the state police. And I'm like, I think I'm going to do that too.
All right.
And I did. I didn't get on the state police, but I kept going. And, back then they didn't hire a lot of women. Now we have more percentage in our police department.
Mm-hmm.
And I just lucked out to get on East Providence. From day one, it's been a very welcoming police department. Being a female, you're no different.
And your assignment, I mean, obviously you're always, police officers, firefighters, first responders are always on duty, but your assignment during the week, during the school year, is you are an SRO, a school resource officer. And I got to think that at this time, in this climate, that is something that can be both challenging and extremely rewarding.
It's a busy position. I've worked in patrol for 10 years. I worked in community policing for 3 years, and this is my 10th year at Riverside Middle School.
Wow.
The administration has changed, throughout the years. The students, it's every year gets a little bit more challenging.
Okay.
I'm not sure why. Social media is a big part of it.
Social media.
It's tough.
Jerks. People who make videos for the internet.
These TikTok things.
People.
The kids are, their brains are developing, and it's hard. They're making instantaneous decisions on a photo or something they're sending out on social media that can just, explode overnight, and they're walking into the school the next day, and it could somebody else. It could be that it was them that it happened to, or the photo went out of, and it wasn't a nice photo.
Right.
So it that kind of just makes your day different. Before, when I was a kid, you went home and your day was done, and you went back to school, the next day. It's around the clock stuff. These kids always have something going on.
It's amazing how the technology has changed. I mean, in your previous career in the Guard, did you ever think that you did technology and all the crypto fun stuff? Did you ever think it would get to this point?
Never. And especially even when I got on the police department, we typed our reports on a typewriter.
Right.
We didn't have laptops in the cars, which we do now, which is it's all convenient tools, but you have to learn how to use everything.
Well, you have it all in the palm of your hand,
yeah,
too, with the smartphones and everything. And
yep.
And I can imagine how you feel right now in this very moment, where the highlight of your career is getting into some guy's Camry with a bunch of GoPros. And I mean,
I checked you out first. Don't worry.
I would hope you. I should hope you would. I'm sure this is not as exciting as Live PD, but we're pretty close. I don't have all the satellite links and the gorgeous.
You probably have the following now.
Not the following of Craig Soroka. I mean, they love him. Although
everyone loves Craig.
I think it's more the girls and his little guy that the people they are charming. Uncle Ben and Auntie Sue say hello. So let's get back to the Super Plunge coming up. You said March 21st and 22nd?
Yes,
Saturday, Sunday. People, you can go online and make a donation. You can come on down and support them. You can actually pledge money to jump in yourself at the grand
Anybody
swim.
can plunge with us. We have the Torch Run Plunge at the end. It's police, fire, corrections, first responders. we're all supporting the athletes. We're supporting them by going in, by raising awareness. You know, sometimes they just don't have a voice. We're their voice. We support them. We're raising funds for their programs. There's programs year-round for them.
Yeah, let's talk about the athletes for a second, because I've spoken with many people who have been involved with Special Olympics, and they always say the same thing. It only takes your first event, and you are hooked.
You are hooked.
You are absolutely hooked. And you've been involved with the Torch Run, as they've gone through the entire state and everything. Those athletes are inspiring.
They are, and this is my, I think, 16th year being part of the Torch Run. I've had the chance to go out to California for the World Games.
Oh, wow.
And it was just amazing to see how many officers across the world do the same things that we do in little old Rhode Island. You know, it's a big thing. And you see the athletes, like in our Torch Run Plunge, we have a team of athletes that plunge. You know, we have our captain of our plunge, super plunge teams that plunge. My son plunges. He's the captain of the East Providence Police plunge team.
Okay.
This is his second year as the captain. He's 16 years old. He's a Special Olympic athlete. And, you know, as far as he'll go in, he goes in. And he sets up his page, and he asks family members and friends at school to support him. And, you know, he's taken it upon himself. And he's kind of been taught this through family, through Special Olympics, to have confidence in yourself and go out and do it.
A great role model, too, Mom. That's
and Dad,
incredible.
with the whole family. It's a big team effort, you know.
That's so excellent. Folks, if I could, I challenge you to go online, make a donation, but don't only just do that. Actually explore some of these athletes and learn about what they do. And I mean, they have so many events. There's no charge to these kids. And I love their model. You know, let me win if I can, but at least let me be brave in the attempt.
That's right.
You know, that's such a key motto for them. And
for everyone.
Really, oh, yeah, absolutely.
You can use it in anything.
But it inspires them, and the numbers that Special Olympics they have, you know, on their websites and stuff, the confidence that it inspires, the job, you know, placement, and just the confidence really is what it is that these student athletes get from it is incredible.
It gives them a chance to compete in a safe environment where they feel comfortable, and that's where you build on that confidence. And so you have the Special Olympics programs that are year-round. My son does skiing. He does track in the spring. And then you have all these unified, you know, that's in the school. Rhode Island is the first state that has had unified in every single high school.
Wow.
Little Rhode Island, first state. I know we're small, but every single high school had it. They're the first state.
Incredible.
And then now we have it in all the middle schools. We have unified basketball. We'd like to get unified cross country next year in the Riverside Middle School.
Fantastic.
And it just creates a nice environment, like in that we want for everyone, you know, in the community.
Rhode Island, small but mighty. Don't you forget about it. Folks, go online, learn about these amazing athletes, find out the information, make a donation, whatever you can give. It all goes to a very worthy cause. Corporal, we'll get you back to the school now in short order, because I don't want the kids running amok.
They're running amok already.
But that's great. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.